Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat. Welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. It's good to be back with y'all today, and I hope you're having a good day. Good to see you, Bad Roxy. Good to see you, Brayherd. Good to see you, Inca. Good to see you, Beer Fox, and I hope everyone's doing well. And Bad Roxy, congratulations. You have won the crown of Furstendom this day, the crown of Swolielness. Because we're playing Ominous Horizons. I'm going to post. And Kit, good to see you. Thank you for the 25 watch streak. Wow. Yeah, this is made by the same people that made Catechumen, which is the game where Swoliel came from originally. I don't know if Swoliel's in this. And I was gonna just... I'm loving seeing all the Swoliel in chat, though. Stirs in my name! I did. I wasn't going... I was originally going to have this launched, but then I saw it had an intro sequence. We're just going to have to watch this together, chat. So, yeah. Yeah, this is Ominous Horizons. Oops. Get it? It's enlightening. It's so dark. It is. It's just it's a very dark scene.
After years of research and labor, Gutenberg was on the verge of changing the world. He had completed the first printed book, the Holy Bible, but there were those who would seek to erase his success.
All this effort for one book.
I think you're rooting for the wrong person, Beer Fox.
Here is the section you wanted, my prince.
And the others?
Hidden securely as you asked. But, my prince, why not just destroy it all now?
God made the mistake of revealing too much to the mortals. I will take advantage of his mistake by studying his Bible and learning his weaknesses. Then I will reclaim heaven and rule the universe unchallenged.
Wow, there is a lot going on there. Jambling is up. I don't even know what you're jambling on. Here, I'll turn up the brightness a bit. Yeah, wow. Okay, so things I do like about this game is you get to pick which translation of the Bible you want. You can do KJV, NIV, and NIS, I think. But yeah, wow, there's some really bad theology there that, like, the Prince of Darkness is going to study the Bible and, A, find God's weaknesses. What weaknesses, bro? Second of all, reclaim heaven. That implies that he had power over heaven. This is just bad. That's really bad theology. Like, when I read this, the synopsis of this game, I thought I was like, the devil's gonna be like, I'll take away the Bible and then no one will have faith. It's like, okay, well that's a plot. This plot makes no sense, and it's like, yeah, Satan knows scripture. Like, that's literally in scripture. Where's the NIV or RSV? Look, they only had so much space. It was on... Well, it was probably released on CD, because this came out in, like, 04. Anyway, let's start a game. Well, here we are. Yeah, I booted this up to test it earlier today, and I had the weirdest feeling of deja vu, and it turns out I had tested it before. I just never played it on stream.
It's you.
I think?
The priest is waiting at the church.
Well, okay. Think life would have been a lot simpler without the printing press? Yeah, but the life we have wouldn't be possible without the printing press. And quite frankly, I think the goodness that has come out of it for ways
the
of...
printing of the Bible, I'm sorry, but I cannot help you. Yeah, I am Gutenberg, and this is my workshop. But alas, thieves have broken in last night, and all is in disarray.
Oh, okay. Well, we found Gutenberg. B. Gutenberg. You said simpler. Yeah, but, you know, when the average life expectancy is in the 30s, everything's simpler. Humans have always been complicated. There is also that. Also, I love the church that has paintings as its stained glass window. That's not how stained glass works. But the church is full of them. Well, yeah, the mortality rate was largely due to infant mortality, but that's also that's a problem unto itself.
Greetings, my son. Thank you for coming to our aid. Time is short, and the peril is great. Evil has plagued our village. I prayed to the Lord for help, and he told me to ask you for your aid. By taking this sword of the Spirit, you join God's holy service.
Father, can you tuck up?
Gutenberg can tell you more. Go now, my son. Your journey awaits.
Oh, Father has a hunched back. Also, I have the music turned down and voices at maximum for the
My
record.
son, seek out Gutenberg in the smithy shop. Post haste.
Okay, I don't know why there's two chalices on an altar at this era. Aesthetics. Were the creators of this game Catholic? No, I do not think so. Well, he's dressed kind of like a Franciscan, which would actually be accurate because where Gutenberg lived, the church was run by Franciscans, and he was likely buried as a tertiary. Autosave, so advanced. Yeah, look how we hold our sword. Our sword goes pew, pew, pew. Also, watch the cursor. The cursor will change. This is not the cursor I have set.
What's that? The priestess sent you? I did print the Bible, but it was stolen, and my printing press destroyed. My life's work, but now all is lost, and the world will march on. Perhaps you will have the faith to recover the stolen Bible and renew my faith, so that I may repair the printing press. If we cannot defeat evil now, my dream of a printed Bible will never come true. Beyond this door is a training area. Use it to hone your skills.
You jumped with a sword and went pew, pew? It's what that's what a sword does, right? Pew, pew, pew. Perfectly normal sword. Stressful swimming. Weirdly, like, you can feel the individual strokes. It's really weird. You have now given yourself the task of distilling games into esoteric genres. Oh, good luck, especially with the kind of things I play. Where are you buying your swords? Apparently at the church store. Also, the game starts you without a crosshair. You have to turn it on. This game, pew pew. Civ, spreadsheets. Unlimited power until it's not. Because if you hold down fire, eventually it'll See, it slows down. See the gem in the hilt? Rude. I can't pick up the scroll because I haven't taken any damage. Why is there a secret training ground here? You don't have a secret training ground for your laser sword? I think you need to talk to your landlord about
Good
that.
work on completing the training area. Gutenberg wanted you to have this. Now, how about that plow?
Yeah, the guy really wants to sell me this plow. This is a firebolt sword. It go pew pew. Yeah, the original Catechumen, there were like 8 swords that you got. Each had a different firing kind. This game, you get like a sword and a staff and a crossbow? Which I only know because of the controls menu.
Gutenberg's book must be recovered. It has been spread to the very ends of the earth.
How do you know?
One section in a distant mesa. A doorway has been opened in the basement. Go forth and return the book.
Ah, yes. The teleporter basement. Yes, the basement full of baptismal fonts that are secretly teleporters. Let's go. Couldn't Gutenberg repair the machine and reprint the book? Yes. But without with the book gone, he's so depressed that he doesn't feel like he's up to it. Okay, stairs. Or not stairs, ladder. Okay, we made it to the second floor. Can't see anything. I have to use my laser sword to... Okay, there's nothing up here! I can't even go up another floor. What is this? The Magician's Nephew? No, that's good. Just teleport across the globe? I don't know where I'm supposed to be honest. They just were like, distance mesa, go. Although the music is, certainly has some implications. It's aggravating my sensitivity to repetitive sounds. Oh no! I bet the sword pew-pews aren't helping either. This is my sword. It goes pew-pew-pew. You know, I figured since this was an FPS, there might be, you know, an enemy somewhere. Silly me. Oh, the rhythm was like ticking clocks. Autosave. I'm in the right direction. There are sand golems. Also, there was a scroll with sacred script here. I'll take some damage. Ow. I've come into the world as the light so that no one who believes in me should stay in darkness. It's a very tiny font. But that has some weird implications because those are the health pickups and not the objective, despite the fact that they are scripture verses, and therefore I'm also looking for scripture verses. I don't know. I don't even know what this is, but I'll vote lol. What even is this? This is called Ominous Horizons. It's a Christian-based FPS. Oh, dear.
Greetings, friend. I have seen your face many times in my vision quest, and I hope that you can help me. Many moons ago, our sacred city was conquered by the forces of evil. The others have fled, but I remain with the hope that I may recover my people's ancient relic. It is guarded by many sand creatures, and I am unable to retrieve it. My people would be most grateful for your help. If you find our relic in the caves, return it to me so that I may rejoin my people.
These people just talk so quiet. Shooter where gun is sword. Yeah. Yeah, and so we're helping Gutenberg recover the first Bible he printed. But it's been scattered to the four corners. Also pretty convenient that we just left Germany, or what will be Germany, and we show up here in America, and he's speaking English. He's like, yep, what up? Good to see you, Craig. Also, I hope the test went well, Tantalus. Isn't the whole point of printing? Yeah, but the printing press was destroyed. And now Gutenberg's too depresso espresso to make another. Speaking Frisian. Ow. What? There we go. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and your plans will succeed. Oh, sup? Yeah, the church has a teleporter in the basement is probably one of the weird, like the fact that I have a gun sword is already weird, but like the basement teleporter is a whole nother, because like at least the original Catechumen, it was like, hey, go into the catacombs, you're right here at the entrance of the catacombs, here's a sword, it shoots lasers, go. And it was given to us by an angel, so it's like, okay, well, if an angel's gonna give me a sword that fires lasers, I'm more okay with it, but this one was just like, the priest was like, I have this sword for you. Not to 3D print a printing press so that you can print with a print. Oh, there's a person here.
Come get me, if your God will allow it.
Oh, okay, you're a bad person then. Sometimes I try to figure out mechanics and theming that would make sense for some kind of Saint Heroic Virtue game, but not a lot really works. Yeah, I think point and click could work really well. Like, who is the fictional... He's a fictional monk, but he was a... In character, he was a monk. He was also, like, a detective. Had a book series and a television series. You have thing lines RPGs. Yeah, and I think RPG a very common thing. No, not Father Brown. Father Brown's more modern. This guy's like a medieval... Can you swing the sword? No. Why would I? It shoots lasers. Cadfell. Yes, Cadfell. Thank you. Thank you, Kit. I wonder if they ever made a Cadfell game. I don't think they did, but they super could. Like, you could do like a point-and-click murder mystery. Sword logic. I don't need logic. My sword shoots lasers. Sword go pew pew pew. Yeah, it's really more a decorative sword. It's not sharp in any way. Yeah, based on actual Inquisition stuff. What's my favorite MTG sword? Sword of the Meek's pretty funny because of the combos you can do with it. I have a soft spot for Sword of Feast and Famine because I opened the Invention Edition. Is everyone be family friendly? Yeah. Yeah, this is a blunt sword I can take to the Ren Fair. They don't know about his pew pew power. But like, you could do like a... Redwall has a game, actually. It has like an action RPG game. And that's very much medieval, Christian themed. World Slay, that is a good one. Die this, security! Honestly, the bats are the more annoying enemy. Just like... Actually do with some health. Oh, okay, we were there earlier. Oh no, I shouldn't have gone down there. Ah. Where was the last autosave? Okay. I was going down there bad because it was a one-way, and it's where I've already been. This is so synchronistic of several cultures. This is just sloppy. Well, if we can... Wait, why do I want to be up here? If we can make it back to where that dude was in the caves, which I genuinely do not remember how we got there. I think he's down this way. Yeah, because I had to swim to get there. On the one hand, the lack of respawning enemies is weird. On the other hand, I don't mind the lack of respawning enemies. Right? I have 6 holy bolts. I don't know how to use a holy bolt. I have not picked up the unholy crossbow yet. Okay. Apparently that bat took me out. Okay, no, this is the wrong way, because this is too far. Yeah, when I have a sword that goes pew pew pew, why do I need a crossbow? So I went left last time. At a fork. Yeah, but Link's sword only goes pew pew if he's at full health. So he always needs a backup. Our sword just always goes pew pew. Oh good, I'm on world record
Thank
pace.
you, warrior. Now I can return to my people, and we will rejoice. This cross has a strange power. Perhaps a warrior with a spirit as great as yours will discover its secrets.
Okay. Come near to God, and he will come near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. I know that's the end of that clause, but the way that double-minded is used there, it feels like there's something missing. Okay, I can't get out this way. Like, is that cross from that dude all I'm supposed to get here? Game had a budget of 1.6 million in 2000? That's... Man, video games were expensive. It got a 2024 release. Are you sure that's not just like the Steam release? Because that is how I'm playing this, and I could see them being like, yeah, well, we got it. We can put it on Steam. Okay, I'm going to save, well, there apparently. Because I'm going to see if that's all I needed. And if I can go back, or if Priest Dude's going to be like, no, you need to get more. 2024 re-release. I mean, it is kind of a re-release. No, you got nothing to say? Continue my quest where? Am I hunting for pages of the Bible or typesets of the Bible? I'm hunting for the Bible, like the physical Bible that Gutenberg... Okay, so... Yeah, that did not work. So there must be like a page or something that we haven't collected yet here. Okay, it was this way to the Holy Bolts, but that was a dead end otherwise. Which Bible are you hunting? The original one printed by Gutenberg. Like, the first Bible he printed. Well, I think he made his first one and he was like, yep, that's good work. I'm going to go take a nap. And then the dude snuck in and stole it and destroyed the printing press. And then Gutenberg got really depressed. I mean, as a gameplay narrative, I don't think it's the worst, but it does raise some questions, obviously, like, why can't you just print another? Normally, I find respawning enemies in games like this very annoying, but I feel like this would be a time where respawning enemies would be okay. Because it would give me something to do. Why the first... Yeah, there's... Well, apparently without the first one, he can't print others because he's just... He just can't. Ah, no, you're gonna have to ask their writing department. Okay, so that leads back down... No! Not want to fall down there. I was just looking. Because that leads back down to that way, which leads back to the entrance. Is that the way I'm supposed to go? That looks like a way to go. Jerk. Ooh. Oh, what is this? Hey, Chizo, this is this soft sequel to Catechumen. Gutenberg's Bible got stolen, and now it got scattered to the four corners of the earth, so we have to do it. Don't really know who we are, to be honest. We're just a dude. We have a sword that goes pew, pew, pew. That's not how printmaking works. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Use the resulting paper to print more copies? Yeah, but to be fair, the thief also blew up the printing press. I used to swing swords. Yeah, you would swing a sword, but this one goes pew, pew, pew. No, I'm stuck. Oh, I've never seen Constantine. But this does feel like something that would happen in that. If you look for a specific manuscript or translation, that would fit better. Yeah. This feels like a ladder. Because it is. Ow. I don't need it, though. I can't read this passage from Zechariah because I'm busy fighting a sand monster. Don't you dare touch that lever. Oh, that's a torch. I thought that was a lever of some kind. Yeah, actually, that's a really good point. Just finding pieces for the press would make a lot more sense. We're gonna pretend that's what it is from now on, I guess. It would be a Bible-focused game. I mean, it would still be focused on Gutenberg, and I mean, the whole narrative is that the Bible, or that the devil is trying to disrupt printing of the Bible for its use. Yeah, unholy crossbow. Whether you turn to the right or the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." I'm stuck? Oh, it's gusts of wind. Yeah, Shadow Vision. Our first edition Bible's indestructible? I don't know. Further research is needed. Yeah, I think finding manuscripts would make more sense. Yeah, it's just... The plot of the first one made a decent amount of sense because... it was basically the church was imprisoned in Rome. Oh, this is frustrating. Well, that's unusual. Hold on. Sorry. Just got an email being like, oh, thank you for your purchase. It's like, I did not purchase anything there. Find monsters or manuscripts. Do a quest. Yeah. No, you're not wrong. Sorry, I just really want to make sure this is all... Well, I'm not seeing anything weird on my credit cards, so... I don't know what's going on there, but we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. It could be a scam message itself. I didn't open anything or look at anything, but it's just... When I saw that, I'm like, just in case, I should probably... Take a quick look. So thank you for your patience there. You know how it is. Wasn't Gutenberg Catholic? He was. He was, in fact, buried as a Franciscan tertiary. Yeah, it could be a scam message, but also I believe sometimes scammers aren't always the brightest bulbs in the porch. We'll leave the receipts out in the open. Yeah, no, if it's a panic call, give them info kind of scam. No, 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 no! Oh, this is so punishing! It's a very convincing email, I'll say that much. It could also just be Verizon being terrible because plays Johann Gutenberg's assistant. Ah, yes. Famous Gutenberg's assistant. First name Gutenberg's, last name assistant. Is your 50% discount to the Aardvark Monthly about to expire? Oh, no! No, not my Aardvark Monthly! No, just because it came from the phone company, or looks like it came from a phone company, had me worried. It's like someone hacked my account, and you know, I'd hate for my phone to be deactivated and go through all that. So you're playing piano at mass. Oh, hold on, I gotta get up the stairs safely. Hail Mary, gentle woman, and the singer was getting her timing wrong. That messed me up, and it was rough beginning of the hymn. Oof. Yeah, that can be rough. But you do the best with what you have. Oh yeah, I have witnessed musicians making errors. Although where I am now, we're very blessed with very professional musicians. Oh. But I mean, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes errors. I mean, and I know I do. Why did it get so loud when it reloaded? The pool musicians spell. Yeah, I mean, I am spoiled that living in New York, we have so many options. But, you know, I mispronunciate a word here and there. But we have muscles. Yeah, you do. Okay, I think I'm supposed to, like, lodge myself in here. Okay, yeah, that's working. Best music we can produce on Earth is like kindergartners' hand paintings. A little bit, yeah. But I think that's part of why God loves it. Twilla, Hooper, Weber. Hello? Hello? What? Why is this track so good? Oh my goodness, what did we just... What are we experiencing, Chad? This is literally I have the power of God and anime on my side. How much health do you have? I love undodgeable attacks. At least it spawns me back before the fight. Oh, wait, what? Hold on, what? No, 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 no. No. There's no way. I think I was faking, so I went too early. I like how the world kind of like loads in there. It's kind of trippy. Of course, that email could also just be a glitch, like, there's a Kia whose VIN is tied to my email, despite trying to change it, and the fact that it is no longer in my ownership, but I still get random emails from dealership being like, hey, would you like to sell it to us? Why did you suddenly get a crossbow before dying? I found the crossbow earlier, I just was equipping it because I was thinking, oh, well, maybe it's more powerful than my sword. I can get a solid shot and go pew pew. You kidding me? I didn't. I guess moving forward pushes me out just enough. So the crosshair changed again. Okay, we hit it with all 4 bolts. That's pretty good, I think. Am I fighting the Avatar of John's Gospel? I don't know what I'm fighting, to be honest. Also, I think I broke its AI. Oh! Okay. Goodbye? Stop attacking me! Oh, it's that Quacksplat. Well, you ascended apparently, so... No, you're not dead. You ascended. There's a difference. Yeah, I kind of got stuck on the ground there. I don't know. We got the page. Gonna save. Yeah, the track plays through the transition, which is great. Hey, Fada, you got something to tell
The
us?
book you recovered is but part of the Bible. The thief that took them has been deceived by the father of lies, and we must pray for his soul. A portal to the desert where the next piece is hidden has been opened. Beware the many traps that lie ahead.
Oh, good. To the desert. Oh, we're going to Egypt. Okay. I am no expert in Egyptian archaeology and architecture and geography and everything, but I'm pretty sure there are no buildings here, and I'm pretty sure the Sphinx isn't this big. Oh, good. Seven holy bolts. Okay. I'm hitting invisible walls. Is that a door? You know, those ancient Egyptian sliding doors that are functioning several thousand years later. You know... Are you a good guy or a bad guy? Or you're just a statue, okay. Music is so loud in this space. What do you mean you teleport? I feel like you entered Stargate now. Yeah, maybe the creators of this were just really big fans of Stargate secretly. But he, the spirit of truth, comes will guide you in all truth. He will not speak on his own. He will speak only what he hears. And I'm dead? I'm sorry that I was trying to read the scripture verse in your scripture game. And the crosshair has changed again. There's a pit there. They did not indicate that very well. You know, I'm going to try to just run past this thing. What's it gonna do? This room collapses and it'll die. I have ice bolts now. Maybe we'll find Swoliel here. I mean... Okay, that's actually kind of... Oh! Ah! Ah! Why are the statues moving? That was genuinely... that genuinely gave me a bit of a fright. I don't know how short-range weapons in this game have long-range power. Oh, no, now there's two of them. Okay, so I do have to take this first one out. Okay, crossbow bolts are very powerful. Okay, we have another dude up here after the statues. Oh, creepiness! Oh, look at that thing. Well, I didn't quite mean to. Oops. Empty room with spikes on the walls. Let's turn this rust-hazy. Wow. Is that one of the Christmas emotes they're doing? What do you mean, scarabs? Yeah, I don't know what the metric is to earn them. They just kind of show up. Must to work. Hey, you have a great day, Tantalus. Take care. That was a Factorio noise it just made. Like, not the... but there was like a bloop noise. I don't think you can hurt these things. Fortunately, you can outrun them. It's you again. Fortunately, I do know there is an invulnerability mode. You can just toggle it at any moment. So if I ever get really annoyed at a section, you're right. I do mean that Factorio made an ominous Horizons noise. You are technically correct. Seriously, the autosave is there? Going to ignore the scarabs. Ow! Hey! Dionair! Hey! Grandpa Blues, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. Dio, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you're doing well. How is the Final Fantasy? I was lurking a little bit earlier. I'm missing the Sync stream. Sync? Yeah, if you like Final Fantasy content, I do highly recommend Dio. He's a really fun dude. We met at Reach this year. But welcome on in, Raiders. My name is Father Evan, a Catholic priest, streaming here on Twitch 4 days a week, playing games looking at the intersection of faith and gaming, especially the narratives. Right now we are playing a game of all time. This is Ominous Horizons. Gutenberg has printed the Bible, but the first Bible he's printed has gone missing because it was stolen, and now it's been spread to the four corners of the world. We have to go find it because he's too depressed to rebuild the printing press to make another. Oh, you talked about your clock sync. Oh. That does sound like a problem. What? 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 No, go away. .4 modem, and then the 28.8 was impressive. I just found some noises online that I laughed and was like, it reminds me of my childhood. Some of these statues move, Weeping Angel style. And Kate has redeemed a father joke. You know, I don't drive my car much here in New York because, you know, it's New York. But occasionally you take it out, and, you know, I know that bumps and dents are a thing that happen, but, man, this guy backed into me yesterday, and not just once, not twice, but 3 times. He gets out of the car, it turns out it's Aquaman, and he left a trident in my car. scarabs are the most obnoxious. Ow. Deal with you being stuck there. Two ways out. This game feels very Doom-like. It really does. I don't know what engine it's built on. Unless... Was Genesis the engine? I don't know. They have another game called Catechumen that they made before this one. Same engine, same basic concept of sword that goes pew pew pew. But it is very much trying to tap into the Doom atmosphere. This one was released in 2000 originally. Catechumen, I think, was also 2000 actually. Then no harm will befall you, no disaster will come near your tent. Feels like a bad way to go. This feels like the correct way to go because there is trap. This game does like surprise insta-kills, so I should learn the bindings for the quick save, but, you know. Ah, that was close. You bet it's from a... It probably is, yeah. What? I love randomly respawning enemies. Rotata. Hey, happy feast day of St. Juan Diego. The native person to whom Mary appeared in Mexico in the vision of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And a powerful reminder that God, you know, the way that the Magnificat speaks of, that God casts down the mighty and lifts up the lowly. God turns the world around and... Stop that! You can tell which ones move, I guess, because they have a slightly bluish hue. Oh, I love that. What? What? There's so much going on. Like, this dude is coming at me. Dude's teleporting. This has game design of all time written all over it. What do you mean? What do you mean? Y'all saw that, right? Completely normal stuff. Just looks like I'm having a ball with the game. Thank you, Bree. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Saw this on a Stargate episode. It does have the Stargate vibes. Okay. Oh no, no. You know what? I thought that was supposed to toggle invulnerability mode. This section is unfair. That's why they gave you quick save, quick load. I know, but I forgot the bindings and I'm too lazy. Approach. Oh, I almost made that one. You think you slack too much on Christmas crafts and won't make my deadlines? Oh no! I believe in you. I don't know what crafts you have planned, but I believe in you. Hitboxes, ladies and gentlemen. Here's an idea, just a suggestion. Don't let it hit you. Right! That's what I've been doing wrong. Don't let giant stone orb hit you. Noted. Okay, what? There we go. F6 and F7. Okay. See, the problem is that I have a keyboard where I have to press the function key to do the function. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be getting the swing of things soon. I deserve this. I feel like I should be dodging it there. Okay, go. Duck. We made it. We made it, chat. Look, there's our end goal. We're so close. We probably just have a boss fight. I bet that won't be obnoxious. Oh no, I have to jump down. Why is there fall damage there? I had jumped greater heights on in the village in the mesa and had no fall damage. Oh. Oh no. Oh! Plot twist, Swirlhill is the boss. No! Also, I like that going under the falling sand just isn't a skill. Why Egypt? Because we had to go to the desert. Because the Bible has been strewn to the four corners of the world. And we got the piece of the Bible back from the Mesa. Now we're here. Yeah, the lighting is actually pretty dang good, especially given its age. Like, the lighting effects, I should say. The lighting is kind of terrible. It's kind of dark. I have almost no health. I would love some help. Oh, no. There's no boss here. Ah! No. You guys go away. Okay, we beat the desert, apparently. Let's go talk to the priest.
Well done, my son. You're off to a good start, but from here out, the road becomes more difficult.
Father, can you speak up?
Prepare to journey to the Highlands.
Highlands? Am I going to Scotland? Are there going to be dudes in kilts? There better be. I like me kilts. Village? Castle. I just got sniped. Sure. I'd love a scroll, please. I could really eat a scroll. Thank you. I will not speak with you much longer, for the prince of this world is coming. He has no hold on me, but the world must learn that I love the Father, and I couldn't finish reading that. What do you mean, my scatter staff? No, don't tell me this is the shotgun. By clicking right mouse button, I am generating more bolts. It's supposed to swap ammo types. Apparently you can fire more than one bolt at once. So that's good to know. This is just a typical day in Aberdeen, I think.
Wait, no! Don't hurt me!
I won't?
An evil creature has stolen the castle that was once mine, imprisoned me in this hideous form. I beg you to restore my rightful throne. Destroying the Black Knight will break this curse upon me, and I will be forever in debt. The castle doors are sealed, and I cannot defeat characters to gain entrance.
Well, you've been to Aberdeen? Is it basically like this? I imagine it's just like this. I just chose a random city. Whoever did the music was not being paid enough. What? What? It bounced? The bolts have dropped? Like an insane drop? I'm supposed to meet with my spiritual director tonight, and I'm wondering if I should bring this game up with him. Well, optics haven't been invented yet. Well, actually, they had, but the theory of optics hadn't really been fully developed, and so it's a whole thing. This is giving the urge to replay Thief Deadly Shadows, but you can't play on your PC because the office has been overtaken by your son. Teach him the classics when he's young. Yeah, this track is legitimately something I'd like listen to in the background. can't tell if I'm hitting him or not. You're going to say a crossbows had not been invented by this time the game takes place, but you are very, very wrong. Yeah. The Fourth Lateran Council denounced the use of crossbows, which happened well before the Council of Trent, so, you know. Sniper the scope. Well, you know. Sniper without a lot of things, to be honest. I mean, he's just got a bow that shoots red arrows. Lab work. Hey, take care. Oh, you're Father Dave. How would I describe this game to my boss if he were to come into my office right now? Like, I feel like this falls into the category of games where it's like mentioning the Bible, therefore Christian, and it's like, well, it doesn't quite... It feels like it needs a little more. Ginger tea with honey is a nice treat. Oh, is it chilly down there? It can get pretty cold down there. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, is it? Christian magic. Look, a priest gave me this sword. It was originally given to a catechumen by an angel. A priest of whom? A priest of God. Like, legitimately, like a almost Franciscan. Rude. Also, the number, the ammo counter thing is messed up. It's in like the lower left, like it's wrapped around the screen. I suppose at the time that this takes place, Jesuits wouldn't have existed yet. What? I had pretty full health, I thought. Oh, there's spike traps. Probably why the devil's stand-in was like, oh, you should come this way. This crossbow is unbelievably weak in its, like, distance. Fortunately, their AI is, bricks. Okay, the staff was the machine gun. I didn't see that coming. Well, that worked out pretty well. The music does not fit the action. I don't know, it kind of has like a Labyrinth or a Ladyhawke vibe going for it. I thought there was another scroll under here. No, leave me alone. Also, it's an interesting thing to note that these are empty suits of armor. So conveniently skirting certain questions about violence in video games. Kind of like how some games of the 90s and early 2000s, all the people were actually just robots. Also, I can't compete with these guys. They know how to actually use a sword. You know, this musical track, this is Pink Floyd We Have at Home. Oh, that is just rude. What? Was there a mouse or something there? Is that it? Why sings sword when lasers whoosh? I mean, they're kind of proving to me why swing sword. Can you really not swing the sword? No, it just shoots lasers. I got very lucky there. Because my crossbow was out of bolts and it hates switching ammo types without, like, switching out the whole weapon. Oh, you have ranged weapons? Yeah. It's an FPS in the of the 2000s. Why would you need anything else? Okay, I'm just gonna get in there, get the health. Brought a crossbow to a sword fight. Yeah, and I won. Oh, that's cool. The like leather wrap nodding is the your ammo counter on this one. That's actually a really cool detail. So why did I want to come up this way? That's clever, but stupid. Yeah. I like it. Do I just have to find every knight and exterminate them? You keep confusing which keyboard you're on. That's a mood. Alright, I have some DVD rips for multi-episode files downloaded to single episodes. Oh, nice. Do you manage like your own Plex server? Okay. I see you. He's making grunting noises, like taking damage. Okay, that worked. Jellyfin. Same idea. Yeah, nice. Okay, I can't get through there, so... Ah, doing the resolution. Nice. Also, fairly certain that the Code of England should not be the... Oh. Let's see, you got the fleur-de-lis. I don't know what coat this is, actually. It's got a lion and a dragon. I think all the budget went into... That's English? I mean, it's the Order of the Garter. I know that much. But, like, the fleur-de-lis... Like, the lions are England. But it's like... The dragon? I don't think I've seen the dragon on a coat like that for England. I could be wrong. See, English monarch? I thought the monarch had a lion on each side. Like, I thought those were the supporters, not... I mean, it's certainly not the modern one, because the fleur-de-lis is also not present in the modern one. Depends on where you are. It also... that's true. It also depends on when you are. Because the lion is England, is the unicorn is Scotland. Right, I know the dragon is on the Welsh flag, but I didn't think he was on this horse. But, again. Saying you'll ask your grandmother to take my place isn't that huge of an insult, my dude. Haha, get dunked on, nerd. Cute little bit of dialogue there, though, with him offering the temptation of joining forces. I wonder what happens if you go and attack the dude in the village. Probably a game over. Oh dear, this looks like an actual boss fight. Yeah, okay, sure. Oh, it has Henry IV. Okay, that makes sense. Because, yeah, the fleur-de-lis would have made more sense earlier on. Something from Isaiah, giving us wisdom while we are fighting this ogre dude. Honestly, the screen shake's the biggest enemy right now. This is rough. This is mostly just hard to look at. Missed. Nope, 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 don't get stuck. There also doesn't seem to be a whole ton of rhyme or reason as to where things are falling. So it's mostly luck. Well, it doesn't like the ice arrows. Two. Falling down, that's reasonable. What is it? Is this compromise? Need the other health. No. There we go. Truly, this is a thrilling boss fight. I love that the music also is decided to check out. I have magic pixel health. Literally, a stiff breeze will knock me down. Seriously, how much health does this guy have? Apparently, I've eternally frozen him. Oh, he's finally thawed. I was trying to pick up the scroll. Oh, I love taking so much damage from just RNG. It is a feature. Calm down there, bud. At least the ice arrows do something, like... Like, visibly changing his color and slowing him down. It's like, okay. I feel like something's happening. I don't know if it's a good something. What if this is the final boss? Nah, there's way more portals to go through. Sick of those audio cues yet? Never. They're classic. They're certified bangers. How you doing, Squirrel? Good to see ya. Okay, we are out of ammo on everything. Oh, we got more ammo here, apparently? Or I never used it? And we are out of ammo and health. And that's where we're going to call it for the day. I will be reattempting this. We will be returning to more Ominous Horizons. I'm enjoying this. This game's wild. But thanks so much for tuning in to Let Us Play. I have been your host, Father Evan. It's been good to be with y'all today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Prediction? No. Was the prediction to beat it? Lucy Swilliel. Oh. In our hearts and in chat. Darren, but also finally caught up in your Bible and your readings. Hey, that's awesome. And it's almost the end of the year. But anyway, yeah. Thank to everyone who's liked, followed, subscribed, given bits, all the good jazz. Thank you for checking out the YouTube and the Discord. And yeah, let's see who's live that we can raid into. Amazingly, no one else is playing this game on Twitch right now. So weird. I wonder why. Sync is unclogged. Hey, that's great news, Dio. I'm glad to hear that. Congrats. Gonna send you on over to Luke. He's doing some Minecraft with the winter update. Raid call is Father Raid. Use any emotes that you got. And yeah, again, hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care. God bless.